going on. I like when announcement Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, support great social activism, resources, and art.
Don't forget the follow.
I am the assist, African support and strength, inspiration and success together. So, this is Glockaware family, and I'm saying we doing this every Tuesday, 4 p.m. You can come through whenever you want to come through, you know what I mean? But I like to have people come through that do what I do. You know what I mean? And you can instantly see it sometimes like, yo, this person is passionate about that. They really want to make something happen. Like it's something that you can, you be in these spaces building community, whether you recognize it or not. So, I want to give all the shout outs that I always do. My man Mile, Nick, all the cannons. I got to get Mile and Nick back on this, John. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something, talk about some important things. And I think something going on with the mic too. I might just be coming through on the other mic, but I can't hear myself. But so I got a whole list of shout outs, rundowns, all the different things I've been doing. Care Not Control is one of those organizations, one of those platforms that, it's an abolition space. And I be wanting people to understand we have to have a conversation about what abolition is. But Care Not Control in and of itself is an abolition movement. We looking for people to understand like, yo, we are going to end youth incarceration in PA. And I don't know nobody that don't want to be down with that. So when y'all hear about Care Not Control, or now that y'all hearing about it, reach out, look for it. Go on Instagram, CNC. You ain't gonna miss it. Care Not Control. We are going to end youth incarceration in PA. And it's a national movement. We connected to a lot of organizations doing the same thing and have had success all over this country. So we got to get people knowing about it in PA. We got to get people knowing about it in Philadelphia. And it's a young people movement. Like, there's no evidence that putting young folks in placement helps our young people. There's no evidence, none. You can search all over the country, there's none. But there is a lot of evidence, overwhelming evidence of abuse. Our children coming out worse and being prepared to go to big boy John. So, Care Not Control, check that out. Boat is I just got in a boat a couple weeks ago. I love what they doing. I love the opportunity and support I've been getting. I haven't taken advantage of it the way I should, so they make folks kind of question whether I want to be a part of it. But nah, that's crazy. I want to be very much a part of it. And I be telling folks like it's a new the way that the model is, we can probably like duplicate it to help people in those spaces where grant money might quote unquote dry up or go away for some reason. We can provide people with this level of support to maintain what they're doing: administrative support, tech support, people support, community support, that networking you build from being in a cohort like Bolt. So I would ask y'all to look it up. You know what I'm saying? Support it however you can. It's a Bolt family. I think we on cohort 3, 4. I don't know. You gonna have to let them know. Is this the mic right here? Is this the one? Because we can slide this joint over. It don't matter. Oh, all right, cool. So it don't matter. He said it don't matter. So being in Bolt for me up until this point, you know what I mean, to this point has been very beneficial. And I really appreciate it. And I met this young lady at Bolt. Week 1, I was telling another young lady that y'all gonna see again. I was telling her how she approached the program. Like, she was very like out front and let people know that she was there to learn. She was serious about what she was doing, and she wanted to take notes and support however she could support while she was getting the support. So from day 1, we talked about being on the show. So every week it was like, so what's up? You said I was going to be on the show. What's up? And it wasn't on the joint like I just want to be on the show. Like, nah, I got some real stuff going on and people should know about it. And I heard about it over those weeks. I seen her doing the work. She came out to events. Like, folks asked her to come out to events. She come out to the event. And I just was telling her that I seen like a organic media campaign over the last month. And I've seen that she's had some beautiful successes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't ever introduce people. She probably hasn't seen the show. She probably seen the show. I DM'd everybody the show, and I'm going to keep doing that. So enjoy watching the show when I send it to you, and tap in. You know what I mean? We'll take comment if you want to tap in. So I don't introduce anybody on the show because I don't want to mess up anybody's name ever. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can, say who you are and represent you better than you. So I usually ask 3 questions.
Okay.
To make it easy. So the first question is always, who are you? I'm big on identity. Like, that's one of the things that Black folks suffer in the way that we suffer because we don't know who we are. So when I ask identity, I want to know all the brick and mortar. I want to know the Instagram, the Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got going on. But give me a little bit about you too. You know what I'm saying? You to whatever degree that you want to go. But your identity, who you are. The next question I usually ask is, what is your resource? And that should be easy for somebody like you to tell what your resource is. And the last question I always ask is, why do you do what you do? So the first question, who are you?
So I am Mayami Bryant. You can call me Mimi. Everybody call me Mimi. I go by Mimi. I am a founder and executive director of an organization called Youth Capital Academy. I am also a life insurance broker. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a community. I am a resource. I am, that girl.
Listen, I'm not denying it at all. So when we ask identity, like, what part of the city are you from? Traditionally from?
I am traditionally
rep a city,
from
part of the city.
North Philly. I'm North Philly girl.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
But a lot of the things that I have been doing, when I first taught my first cohort, it was in West Philly, and it has been such a great impact for me that a lot of the things automatically when I'm doing something, I think of West Philly because I don't know. I just been called, although I'm like, I want to go back to my home. I want to go back to North Philly. But it seemed like every time I'm having something, I'm just being called to West Philly. Like that is just, I think I'm supposed to be there. Right. And I'm kind of like trying to deviate from it. But yes. But I'm all around girl. So I have done some things in North Philly as well. Taught a couple classes in North Philly. But honestly, my purpose, my mission, my goals, everything that I had planned, I want to be like all the way around every
right. So it's like the whole city. I'm repping the whole city. Yeah. You want to do work in the whole city, and I see you having that gravitational pull. So like you said, like I'm in West Philly, I'm from North Philly, but folks is gonna see what you're doing and be coming from all over the city. So the thing that I would ask with that is, what are the resources that you provide? Like, what are the things that you're providing to folks with your program?
Okay, so business fundamentals, just growing up in North Philly, right? In a poverty-stricken neighborhood, you see a lot of kids selling drugs on the block, and then just even growing up, and then a lot of kids that came up underneath me, I seen them. I'm like, oh my goodness, I know they're gonna wind up selling drugs next, right? They don't want to sell drugs. I, go to the gas station and I see kids at the gas station trying to pump gas. They don't want to be at the gas station. It's raining, it's cold outside. Well, what is it that they want to do? They want to make money. But the only way that they know how to make money is the way that they see other people making money. Right. So I'm like, listen, I need to be able to teach these children a legal and ethical way, a moral way that they can make some money based off of their own ideas, based off of their own creativity. Also, empowerment. Empowerment is so big because what you say to yourself, it matters. Right. What you say to yourself when you look in the mirror, sometimes adults don't understand the amount of destruction they're putting on their children. You ain't this. Get all of that.
I understand. I've been around it.
It make the child grow up like I'm nothing. I'm never gonna be nothing. I'm trash, because this is what they're constantly hearing. So empowerment is so big in my organization as well. Go ahead, go in that mirror. What you see when you look in that mirror?
Those affirmations.
Yes, you are worthy. You are a king. You're powerful. And just when I wake up in the morning time, right, and I sit on the bed, and the first thing I just be like, oh my goodness, I'm just so grateful, right? Because I'm nowhere near where I was yesterday. I'm nowhere near where I was last year. And just be grateful on it. And then you just look in the mirror and I just be so happy in myself. Like, thank God you start working on yourself and you start talking to yourself, great things, positive things, because you start to believe what you hear.
So you speak like the mentorship, I feel like what you're saying in the empowerment, because I don't like using the word mentorship. It has a very crazy Greek connotation, definition, etymology of that word. But I understand what you're saying with the empowerment, because you do have to have those critical moments where you are looking in the mirror and you like, yo, you're not being critical of yourself as in breaking yourself down, but it's like, nah, you are somebody that deserves things. You are somebody that should be informed. You are somebody that somebody should care about. You can be in control of your own happiness. Like, you have to tell yourself those things. And then now it's like, look how this feels for me. Now I'm in this space, and I'm like, yo, you can feel it because you be smiling. Like, she be like this. It's like this all the time. And it's cool though, because it's a real thing. It's like, when you know you got something that is worth something, like, to you, you know that it's worth something. Like, you know that I'm doing something and I'm bringing something that people can value. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you seeing that coming to fruition. So I understand why you like I be like that a lot too. Like, seriously, yes. You gonna face different things, but that's gonna always be there. I'm telling you, because you know what you're doing is purposeful and it has value. So when you do this empowering, is it always you that's speaking? Do you bring folks in to speak? Do you have a list of affirmations that as a part of the program, you have to do these? Like, how do you do that empowerment?
So I don't want to, I'm just going to say I do financial literacy too. I want to talk about that. But when I first started, right, it was this girl, her name is Anya. My daughter went to her program. It was called That Girl Mentorship Program, Future Legends. And I was like, you know what? I want to start my own organization. You know what? I'm going to say something to her. Because my daughter, she always, and all of my children, they're always in something, right? And then I'm like, no, I'm too scared. I'm not going to say nothing. And then I'm like, girl, you better say something because she may be able to help you. And then one day, you know, I seen her pick my daughter up and I ain't saying nothing. One day she called me like, hey, we running a little late, right? We going to get some ice cream. And I was in my head like, girl, this is the time, you got to run the phone.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, I wanted to start a nonprofit. She was like, yay. Like, you think my energy, she all it. So right. She was like, okay, well, yes, I can help you. I'm like, can you please mentor me, right? And she was like, yes, I'll be able to help you. So I'm like, okay, all right. So then like a couple weeks went past, and then she had she DM'd me like I was a little busy, but when do you want to start? So I gave her a call, and she was like, you know what, you can do one of your cohorts here. And then she said, you know what, I got something better for you. How about you teach it here for Future Legends Empowerment Academy, and I'm gonna pay you. I'm like, you gonna pay me? I was willing to do it for free.
Right.
So she was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you. We're gonna do it 3 days out of the week. So just being able to sit beside her side by side and just see how it was like in person, and just she was pouring into me because I was going through stuff, so she pouring into me and we pouring into kids together, and it was just like, yo, this is so dope. Like, she's so awesome. Right. Even the children love her, everybody love her. So for me, it was like she was mentoring me and she was mentoring the kids. So when I always be like, girl, I thank God for you, she'd be like, girl, whatever, you so decent, you this, you be motivating me. And I'd be like, girl, you don't understand because you really changed my life. So she helps me with the empowerment part too.
I don't want to get off of the financial literacy part, like you said. I want to make sure those details is in there. But the thing about the empowerment piece that's important, and you probably already know this, but if you don't know, a lot of how we deal with our money is our self-esteem, is our psyche, is how we feel emotionally about things, is how we handle our money. So that empowerment piece is a very, very important piece to how you're going to deal with your money, because we don't necessarily deal with our money based off of logical dollars and cents. It's a lot of emotional, psychological reasons on how we manipulate our money, or how money manipulates us.
Right.
So give us some more detail on, like, what is the financial literacy piece? How does that go? You know, what is the things you want young people to know?
With financial literacy, for me, is real life skills. So I know a lot of people, I see a lot of organizations, they talk about financial literacy and they going straight into stocks, bonds, investments. No, I can't start off from there. I can't start from there knowing where I came from, and a lot of children that I'm talking to coming from the same place, right?
Right.
So where I'm coming from is the basics. We're going back to the basics. We're talking about how you budget your money. How do you budget your money? How do you break your money up so that you know this amount goes to what you need, this amount goes to what you want, this amount right here goes to what you save? So we're doing that. We're going over credit. And every single thing that I do, I'm going to teach in a way that I can teach it to a third grader. I don't care how old you are, because like I said, growing up from where I grew up, a lot of people, they read on the third grade level, even the adults. So I'm going to make sure when I'm talking to you in a way that you actually understand what I'm saying. We're going over hey, listen, and I'm gonna tell you this, my next cohort is about to be the 5, because I was talking to my girlfriend, and we was talking about you
Nah, I love it. I love it. Like, this is the conversation. I was talking to my girlfriend about how I'm going to empower these people and inform them. I love that conversation. I love that that's the conversation.
Looking at a bill. Mm-hmm. This is how, look at this bill right here. Who are we paying on this bill? Mm-hmm. Look for the company name. How much is we paying? How much is we paying this month? Are we paying more this month than we did last month? Mm-hmm. Why do you think this month is higher or lower? What can we do to kind of stabilize how much we're paying? Mm-hmm. So all of these things is things that children need to learn in order to sustain a healthy lifestyle as an adult. So that's what financial literacy look like for me. Going back to the basic look.
No, I like the basics. I just was having a conversation with my brother, shout out to Maj, and we was talking about how if like everybody in the house that don't pay the electric bill, right? You tell them the blueprint on how to keep the electric on, right? Mm-hmm. You tell them, turn the light off when y'all leave. If you're not using it, unplug it, right?
Yeah.
But nobody listens to that. And these are all the people who don't pay the electric bill. And then when the lights go off, everybody's looking at you like, why didn't you pay the electric bill? And it's like, bro, I can't afford what the electric bill is now. The electric bill was $150. That's what I can afford. Now it's $220. I don't know where I'm going to get that money from.
Right.
I told y'all what to do to keep it at $150 and y'all didn't listen.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why those basics that you're talking about come into real time. That's why they need it. And that's why I like how you're saying, like, this is how financial literacy looks to me, but it is what we deal with day to day. Like, this is the basic stuff to the point where now these young folks are, when they parents have that conversation that I just said, because they've been given these basics, they can understand it. It's like, all right, mom, I get it. Because I took this class and she was explaining how a bill break down and how the bill is one thing 1 month. And then if we do different things, the bill is higher, but we still bringing the same amount of money in.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So we need to do things. And these are small things that people don't take into consideration that might be able to save you money as well. Because it's like, all right, if we do all these things, the bill can be $100 and I'm still making what I'm making, but now we got $50 extra to do something else with. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I get what you're saying, and I understand. I appreciate how it's like, no, this is what financial literacy is for me, and young people need to know it at that level. And the thing you said about third grade reading level, people would scoff at that. Like, why would you say that? But if you understand the literacy rate for folks in Philadelphia, adults, you will understand that what she's saying is not a shot. It's not a stereotype.
Right.
It's something that you need to understand, that we have to do this to bring our people up. But the statistics say this is actually a problem.
Right.
So when you said it, you didn't say anything wrong. And I'm not pointing that out to say, yo, you said something wrong. But I know people listening would say, what? Most of the people you dealing with at a third grade level, why are you putting that on people? Oh, no, why you're not informed enough to know that most of the people moving around you can't even read.
Yes.
You don't know that, though.
Right.
So don't scoff at those things. It's a look up moment.
Yes.
Like, this is something that we need to work towards and make sure that that's not the thing. So the other thing that I would ask is, why do you do what you do? What is the thing that motivates you? What is where do you get this purpose from? Why do you do these things?
So I believe this is what I'm called to do.
Okay.
Like, just growing up, I always had a giving spirit, right? Mm-hmm. I just always wanted to give and just give and give and give, but I was giving to the wrong people. Mm. So I started just being used, and I didn't like the feeling being used. But I get fulfilled by giving to people. And it's like, man, I don't want to change who I am because this is what I love doing. But how can I do this in a way that it fulfills me and I don't feel like somebody is taking advantage? So I founded my company. Also, right, I never was taught financial literacy. Anybody told you about credit growing up?
Not credit. My mom did give us a little basics about bills and like banking, having a bank account, stuff like that. But we needed more stuff because we seen that she needed more stuff. Like later in life, we found out like she had basic skills, but it was stuff you had to evolve into. Like, credit is a fairly new thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So our grandparents, if I would say, and definitely our great grandparents and our parents to a certain extent, they didn't really deal with credit. Yep. You know what I mean? So that's a new set of information that has to be added to. And that's kind of what I'm saying about my mom had like basic levels, but she didn't understand about investing money. She didn't understand about like truly budgeting money. You know what I mean? She know about the savings, and that's a whole conversation that we could have too about black women and they savings. Like, what is this savings for? Is it really being budgeted? Are you saving it for a particular reason? How do you use this savings? Because it is a thing that black women have a savings. So I know that you get into that too. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to get away from what you were saying about why you do what you do.
So just growing up, right? So I had my first child at the age of 16 years old. And by the age of 18, I was living on my own. But I had to learn as I go. It was like, I was throughout in the water and I had to learn how to swim. But I thank my mom for that because it helped me be the woman that I am today. Critical thinking skills is like, what? Anything come my way, I'd be like, hold up. We ain't about to think about the problem. We're going to think about the solution real quick because the problem is here. So just real life problems. Like, dang. If I don't pay this money, I'm backed out a couple months. They gonna kick me out. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're
saying.
Buying
cars, I had a brand new GLA. What was it? 2024, and guess what? I ain't even own my house yet.
Right.
So it was just like going through stuff, and it was like, this is not the way to do it, right? So what can we do? And I realized that this wasn't the way to do it.
Right.
Just facing certain challenges. What can I do to get myself out of it? Because nobody else is going to help me. You got to help yourself. So I went back to school. I got my bachelor's degree in business. I'm now going to Temple for my master's.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But before that,
okay,
period. I became a licensed life insurance agent. And that also taught me how to be able to control my money, even going over financial needs analysis, knowing how much your net worth is, knowing all of this type of stuff. It helped me like tremendously with just knowing everything. So I'm like, listen, if I knew this when I was 16 years old, that 16-year-old mom or the 18-year-old mom living on my own, my life would have been totally different.
Right.
So
do you think when you, because I ask these questions a lot, I look at these things a lot. Do you think when you said that you were just left out there to swim, do you think like, was it enough support from community like outside of your mom? Do you feel like it was folks, like I know how you just said the young lady that you was like, I took that chance opportunity and like she put me on, basically, you know what I'm saying? Why do you feel like that was missing when you was young? Like, why do you feel like I'm not gonna say why do you feel like, I'm asking like, why do you think that was like that, where it wasn't like a collection of women that would see you moving in these ways, would be able to recognize those things, because it's like pattern behavior. You've seen this happen to other young women. Again, that's why you want to do what you're doing, is like, if I only knew. So why do you think that wasn't there? Like with women, with men, you know what I mean? Either gender doesn't matter, but why do you think that wasn't there?
I feel like, for one, right, social media wasn't as big. So if it was organizations out here, I didn't know anything about it. How was I going to know? Right. It wasn't people going around putting flyers up saying, hey, you can do this, or, you can go here. All I knew about was a drill team, and I didn't even like that because of how they talked to me. But if it was resources, I didn't know anything about the resources, especially because how was I going to know?
Right.
But it wasn't a lake program when I was in high school, and it kind of helped teen parents. So they helped me while I was in high school.
Right.
But outside of that, you 16 years old, you just had a baby. It's almost like people shun you. They feel like, oh, who she think? She did this. So they start talking down on you. Oh, she ain't going to be nothing. She about to have all these kids, because it's like a stereotype. Right. Oh, she young. She had a baby. But I'm going to tell you this, right? And this is one thing I was like, I ain't having no more kids no time soon. But I had wound up getting arrested when I was 17 years old. And I was in a fight. I got a clear record, y'all. It was expunged.
Sorry, this is owned and operated by returning citizens.
Yeah.
So we don't have no issue with you having a felony or anything. Yes. I'm not saying that you do, but if you did, none of that matters here. Like that, we don't go by that.
I was being charged as an adult, right? So at first, my twin, she used to fight all the time. So I used to be like, and when it happened with me, I'm like, my mom gonna pick me up in a couple hours. I'm gonna be good. It was just a little fight. Right, a couple hours passed. My mom still ain't come pick me up yet. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, So they was like, oh, you gotta wait. They see the bail commissioner. You gotta get bailed out. I'm like, bailed out for what? And they was like, oh, you getting charged as an adult because you stabbed somebody. I'm like, well, kids stab people too.
Yo, that is not. I don't know if we could actually use that kids stab people
No,
too, but I could explain where that would come from. No, seriously, I can explain where that would come from.
So this is what I'm saying. Like,
but this is what your understanding is. This is what your understanding. It's still like, yo, I'm a child. Like the funny thing about you saying that is, it is funny how it came out, but the part is like, this is a child saying this. Like, I'm a child. Like, I'm not going to do it the right way. Like, we do stupid stuff. You're going to charge me as an adult. Like, this is a child saying that. Like, that's really what that is. Like, it came out like it came out. But that's really what you're saying. Like, I'm a child. Y'all see this, right?
Right.
Y'all got to judge me differently based on the fact that I'm a child. I know that I did this, but I'm a child. And that's some of the work that we do. Not some of the work. That's the work we do with Care Not Control. And it is one of those things where it's like, yes, this child did this heinous, if you want to take it to that extreme thing, because they are a child. They don't calculate risk. Right. Their brain is not fully developed until 25. Some say 26. So all of these things start coming into play. But it's funny that you said it like that. But that's really what you were saying.
Right.
And as we know, our children don't necessarily know how to articulate those points. So it's going to come out like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's that's a real thing. So what did your mom wind up doing? Did she leave you in there? Did you have to bail yourself out? Like, how did it go down?
So I had called my mom. I was crying. I don't even care. I was crying right? So at this time, me and my mom had a little argument. Like, I don't care. I was being a little disrespectful. So I called her and I just started crying like, please come pick me up. Like, right now, you care, right? So she was like, how much is it? So I'm telling her. So she was like, well, how much I got to pay to bail you out? So I told her. She came right to pick me up. But the judge, she was like, you 16? I was 17. She was like, you 17-year-old. You're 17 years old. You're a mom. You have a child and you're big and you're in jail. If you don't change your life around, you're going to be young. You're going to have all these children, and you're not going to be nothing in life. And let me tell you this. It hit me real hard. Like, what?
Like, I ain't going to be nothing.
Oh, you tripping. I'm going to show you. I wish I knew who that lady was. But she had to be said to me. I always believe that stuff happens because it's supposed to happen. It had to be said to me that it was said to me because it struck me real hard. Right. And I was like, that's not about to be me. I'm not about to be a statistic. I'm not about to be any of those things. So,
it's a conversation going on. I know you see, not a conversation going on. We're creating the conversation around it. I haven't heard other people have the conversation. So I ask you these questions because I know you're somebody that kind of recognizes things that are going on with young women. You know what I'm saying? Young black women. And it's a book that Rakia wrote the foreword to called Submerged by Shanae King. That was the show that I sent around to everybody, and that was kind of real intentional. And I think this is like a must read for people, period, like black folk, period, but more in particular for black women. And that story that you explain is like your mom came at a time when she was supposed to come. We may disagree on with how she came, but whatever her tactic was, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of young women don't have that. That's why I asked you the support question. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of young women, they disconnected from their mom. They battling with their mom. They going through stuff with their mom. Their mom don't have the energy. She don't have the understanding. It ain't always just, that throw you away type of thing. But I know from growing up around the women that I grew up with that women are expected to just figure it out. Yep. The boys get taken care of. The women are supposed to figure it out. And that's a part of, what something that she talks about in this book. And I think you saying like, yo, I got locked up at 17 and I had a level of support that kept me from. But this young lady in the book, like what she did, wound up keeping her in prison until this day. She's 18. I mean, she was 18 at the time when she got locked up. And I'm always going to introduce the conversation, and I'm always going to tell all the black women I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to read this book. It is called Submerged by Shanae King on healing from abuse while navigating a life of imprisonment. And one of the things that she coined in this book, I say she coined it, is abuse to prison pipeline. And that's what it looks like with our young women a lot of times. So Rakia wrote the foreword to the book, and I'm wondering, like, based off the experience that she just told you, or you just heard, about that moment getting locked up and somebody being able to come with some level of support, like, do you feel like, what is it? I know I'm making the proper connection to it. Like, yo, somebody came and did what the community was supposed to do, and particularly a mom, that was her job in that moment, no matter what you had done wrong. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that goes around the story, but in that moment, and then, like you said, she did that, and you had the experience, and you felt it, and it made you start changing some of the trajectory of your life at 17. I know still bumps, bruises, and stuff still come along the way, but that was one of those moments. So, knowing what you know about the book, knowing what you read in the book, what do you say about that moment? Like, what are the things that you think are missing, or that you think like, yo, this is something that we need to duplicate? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you hear that moment, knowing what you know, how do you feel? Like, what's another approach to that, so that we don't have young women being left? You could walk up. You could walk up and talk next to the mic. You know what I'm saying? Because once we get this, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna try to like wrap him up. But I do want to, like I said, incorporate the book. Y'all gonna be hearing about this book a lot. I think this is something that I'm turning around the wrong way. I think she'll be showing young black women this book as a part of her curriculum and all that too. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna be doing a lot of groups and circles around it, rites of passage around it, and we definitely will be bringing other folks on to give their impression. But what do you think? What do you think when you hear that?
So when I heard it, I thought about two things. The judge, I wanted to know, was the judge a black woman?
I believe she was a white woman.
It was a white woman. But so I thought about relinquish culture. Right. And that's what is going on today. So I feel like your mom, because there's another mother who would have been like, you got yourself in this mess, now get yourself out, especially because you are 17 out of the house with a child, and for all intents and purposes, you did something wrong. So your mom was able to offer you a level of support where you were still her child in that moment, even though the system was trying to, treat you like you were an adult. And that's, the book is definitely necessary to read. Again, Shanae's story speaks to that protection not being there from 9, from 5, from, her most formative years, when it was most important for her to be protected inside of her house. So you were protected in a jail cell. Somebody came and got you out of there. She wasn't protected at home. And it led her to do things that could get her in the jail. And that's the other thing that I thought about, the idea of these parents who won't come get their child. But then what have you done for me up until this point to keep me from being in this type of situation? Because again, I'm going to continue to tell her story. Like, she didn't get any of the supports that she needed. And for all intents and purposes, this woman is a genius. Like, she was the straight A student. She did, participate in the school activities. She loved to swim. Like, she wanted to do the things that could keep her out of prison, but she wasn't being given what she needed in her home to not make her run to the streets, to not make her go find, like, you found it in you. Somebody told you wasn't going to be something, and you was like, that's a damn lie, I am. But because she had it all in her and it wasn't being spoken to, she was going to look for it in other places, and they were just extracting all of that greatness out of her. Like, yeah, we going to take it and take advantage of it, and then like coerce you, and because you looking for that love, you craving for that attention, now you're doing stuff to, latch on to people because you're not getting it at home, because it don't exist where you need it from. And we gonna see you do the most deplorable of things. And then in Shanae's situation, her mom couldn't come get her. It ain't no coming to get you from murder. Right. Like, it's nothing you can do when we there, right? And so regardless of whatever wasn't there before, now it's the situation where I might even want to do for you, but I can't.
Right.
Because of everything that didn't happen before then. So I feel like where we are, I think I said relinquish culture, and Jarue talks about it a lot, because I feel like that's where we are today, especially with like the relationships between young women and older women, that bridge. I consider us to be like that bridge age where we're not necessarily elders, like we don't want to be old, but I'm older than you, right, and old enough to know, a little bit about how your life is going, and to, you know, tell you some things that can help you move to a positive trajectory. But the thing about young girls, a lot of it is because they're not getting it at home. They won't take it from somebody who wants to give it to them. So I don't know. I feel like it was great that, you know, your mom was able to show up for you, and that lady to talk to you in a way where it's like, nah, I got my support in. You talking shit is gonna make me prove something to myself. Like, but it's the unfortunate reality of where we are today is so many of us don't. Like, we don't have that. Like, and I can speak to being told, like, yeah, you can go figure it out at 15.
Yeah, I would say I think a lot of young girls will take it from somebody that they can relate to. So I feel like, because when I talk to young girls, they be like, oh my God, yes, maybe. Like, I think they look up to me and they kind of hear what I'm saying. But I think it's because of my story and where I came from. It's like, you know, I wasn't perfect. Or we, you know, I may have experienced the same thing. So I think that people kind of take from people that they can relate to. But
when you do talk to young women, what is one of the things that you feel like stands out to you? That's the main thing you say. Like me, my thing is always like, I didn't have nobody like me. I heard you kind of say that earlier. You know what I'm saying? So that's like always my standpoint. Like, damn, bro, like if somebody knew some shit and was telling me some shit, you know what I mean? Like I would have made I'd have made way better decisions. You know what I'm saying? But folks around me didn't know to whatever degree. So what is one of the things that is like, this is always my thing to young women? Like, this is maybe the connector piece or the one thing that you want them to know about you. Like, if you couldn't tell them nothing else, like, all right, I'm gonna let them know this, and we're gonna go from here.
So first, and I told it to my 10-year-old daughter, and I was telling her this, and she could talk. The first thing I look for more before anything, financial literacy, anything, is love yourself. And that's if you can love yourself, there's nothing that anybody can say to you to make you feel like you're unworthy. Nobody can say anything to you to persuade you to doing anything, but just love yourself. Don't look for it in your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. Love yourself first. You love yourself so much that you setting boundaries. You loving yourself so much that nothing anybody can say can penetrate your heart. Right. Just love yourself so much. And that's like the one thing when it comes to females, because I feel like a lot of times I grew up with my father wasn't in the household. A lot of people have grown up with a fatherless household, or even if their father is still there, just a lot of children is growing up in general, not feeling love. Or I done met people and they don't even tell their kids, I love you, or they don't even hug them or give them a kiss. And for me, I'll be like, what? How you can't do that? Like,
that's that culture. That's the culture we in right now.
So,
because my question is like, what do you say for young women who grow up in households that are void of that? Like, you telling your daughter to love yourself, right? And what do that look like? How do I love myself if nobody never loved me?
So what self-love look like is when you wake up in the morning, care about how you look. Take care of yourself. Brush your hair. Brush your teeth. All of that is a form of self-love. So if I go in one of my kids' rooms and his room is a mess, I'd be like, oh, what's wrong? You depressed? What's going on? Because something is there that you feel too bad to care about your surroundings and your space. So all of that is, for me, is a form of self-love. Just
that's one of them first basic things. I talk about cleaning up a lot. Having a clean house, keeping yourself clean, keeping yourself, like you said, like those are basic things. And the environment joint is a real big joint, because I see a lot of people who will, for whatever degree, keep themselves together, but then you come into their space and it's like, this is not representative of what you are wearing. You know what I'm saying? Like how you're carrying what you wear, and you come into the space and it's like, nah, there's something that's going on here. Like you said, so that is like the beginning of like a critical thought thing for me, because I think self-love is critical thought. Like it like people say all the time, like you can't do nothing for nobody if you're not good. Yeah. Like it doesn't, and I'm not gonna say your situation, because people could take that all over the place. But if you're not good, if you're not healthy, if you're not walking upright, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have the right energy, if you fatigued all the time, if you sick, like you're not together. So how are you going to help anybody else? And that's a first. It's like what you eat, working out. Those are like basic things that you can do to show self-love, because it puts you in a space where people around you, because you're healthy, they may feed off of that. If you do want to help them, you have the energy when they are not that healthy. Because you are healthy, you got the energy to get them back to health. If both of y'all are unhealthy, we're just going down a long road, and it's going to be a bad jump.
Yep.
But so that I like those basic tenets that like that's a real thing, man. So I gotta check the time. We gotta check the time, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, even though it's a rainy day. I don't know how much you've been definitely popping out here. Like, I don't even want to use that phrase. Like, let me stop playing. You got a lot of good media that I've seen, and I do want to express that again, because I think it's very organic, and I would tell people to kind of like follow suit, like, uphold your agreements. I would say if you tell somebody you come through, we all know stuff happens. I'm definitely one of those people. Things happen. I might not be able to make it, so forth and so on, but you made a lot of those appointments. The folks that were in front of you, that were presenting you with information and new things that you didn't know. I seen how you went at it. I seen the notes she took. I seen you networking and being a part of these different things, while at the same time, what you were already doing yourself was matriculating and moving towards the destination that you wanted. The goal being met, opening up the academy. I ain't gonna tell you business about the other things that people, how much success is going on. You know what I mean? But congratulations on that. I actually did see it. I seen you popping up on a lot of people's algorithm, and it's dope to see that, man. Like, you didn't have to chase it in that way. And I think that's what I'm saying more than anything else. It was very organic, and I watch it. It's dope. And I've seen other people have that same type of like run, per se, if you want to say that. Like, you've seen other people in our space, and it's like, oh, they popping up on everybody joint, you know what I'm saying? So, and it don't be, it'd be about helping the community. It'd be about serving our people. So I really appreciate that. Is there anything that you would like to get out there? Any shout outs? Would you like to tell people where they can go, the next event, all that? What you got going on?
So, yes, I want to say follow me on Instagram, Youth Capital Academy, Youth YOUTH _ capital CAPITAL _ Academy, ACADEMY. Follow me on Youth Capital Academy. We have basically a lot of things that I'm having. I always post there. I'm gonna have a food giveaway within the next 2 weeks. Also, I want to shout out Future Legends, because let me tell you this, they all that. And I feel like I always tell her, I be like, that girl mentorship was so powerful that you start mentoring the mom. Right. Like, that's deep. Right. And I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to help the children and then help the adults, because, a thriving community look like all of us working together.
Yes, indeed.
Also, I want to shout out Ricky and the No More Foundation, because he is so decent, especially I feel like an up-and-coming organization coming up. When I had my business fair, the event that I just had, I was able to be like, hey, how you doing? Can I do this at this location? And if it was anything, the time was free. He like, come on, right? Come out. No, you good. You don't gotta do nothing. You're not charging the people. It's for the people. It's for the community, right?
Those type of support you supposed to have to each other.
Come on, come out. So I was talking to a young guy this past weekend, and I was like, kept saying like, yeah, cause No Mo, he's real decent. Like, how I was able to. He was like, dang, you keep saying his name. Like, that must be cool like that. And I was like, no, I got to give people their flowers while they're here, because he could have said, no, you can't have your youth business fair here, right, or you have to give me X amount of dollars. But because he was like, oh, no, it's for the community, I got it. So just to be aligned with people who have the same purpose, the same goal as you, to really just help the community. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shout them out all the time.
No doubt.
So, yeah, and both. Period. Because both,
definitely both.
Yes, they all it.
No, I appreciate everything that's going on. I got young people coming in here. Y'all might have seen my John. Like, these dudes, I don't even know who these dudes are anymore. But we'll talk about that after the John. I'm just messing around. Like, yo, I really, really appreciate you coming on here. I want, you are a friend of the show now. We want you to come back. We're going to have, like, deeper discussions into different things, and we definitely would like your input. You know what I'm saying? So I'll send those invites out. Everybody from Bolt, I'm going to try to get up here, you know what I'm saying? See if I can get them up here to talk about some things. Again, Shanae King, go get this book, Submerged. Yo, this is a deep book. This is a heavy book. And don't be scared of the word deep or heavy and all that stuff. We changing the paradigm on that. That should make you want to go look at it, like challenge yourself, you know, but it's really just it's apropos. It's timing in this, and this is the right time for a book like this, especially for somebody who like myself who love black women, and I need black women to be the black women that I know they are, the African women that I know they are. So this is one of those books that I think we can have a lot of conversation around, and women just need to read it, like seriously. So one more time, give them all where they can go check you out, because we're gonna be posting this. This is about to go up to my 10. Sometime I got 10 viewers. Sometimes I got 10 million. So whatever time you pop in, you might. So you got to post your stuff. You got to put your stuff out there. You never know when the wave coming. You know what I mean? So
Capital Academy, YOUTH_capital, CAPITAL_Academy, ACADEMY. And I just want real quick, I want to shout out to my son over there sitting on the couch.
Definitely.
Why? Let me tell you, my son, he all it. He a little better than me. I'm just saying, right? So he is in a program, in the Build a Man program. Shout out the Fear Factor. What is Fear Factor? Trust Factor. I'm talking about Fear Factor. He can see it. Trust Factor. And then mentorship program. My son was able to, he built a couple pantry boxes, and they gave them all out. One of them they gave out to Ryan at the treehouse for as I planted seed. And I was talking to Zach, and he was like, "Oh my God, your son, like his speech was so good. Like it was really good. Like I was about to start crying."
Get him in the space.
And I was like, "What? Yes, right."
You know what I mean?
And then my son, he was in Miami with his friend. They're standing over there, right? Okay. Let me tell you how decent.
Listen, I feel I don't feel no type. I gotta get my youngins down to
listen.
My bad, y'all. My bad, man. I ain't handling my business. Salute to y'all, little brother. My fault, y'all. My fault. Go ahead. You can.
I'm gonna tell you how decent he is, right?
All right.
He in Miami, 17 years old. He doing his thing. He's down there for his friend's birthday.
Okay.
And somebody stopped him and did a little podcast interview, right?
Okay.
At the end of the interview, you know what my son said? Shout out to Youth Capital Academy, you know, my business. You know, we teach children business fundamentals. You know, they want to learn some things. And I'm just looking.
Yeah, they be paying attention when you got something to say. I'm just keeping it real. When you got something to say, man or woman, they be paying attention. I know he see the same matriculation that I'm seeing. Yes. I know he's seeing, he getting a first-hand account.
So I'm like, when he seen it, right? He seen it. And then when the video finally dropped, he was like, "Yo, Mom, look, this is the video I was telling you about." And I was just watching it, and I was just like, period, son. He don't even know. He about to be next up in line. He don't even.
Nah, these are the experience I do appreciate, because we are in youth-centered spaces. You know, what we going to do if they're not empowered? You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you bringing them. Yeah. Definitely, so they can get to see what's going on. They might have some ideas. I seen Youngin go in the back, see what's going on. This is a black-owned situation. Bro been doing this for over 20 years. He keeping it in community and giving myself, and I can give other people opportunities. He's giving me an opportunity. You know, we just work this black-owned situation right here. So listen, we got to slide out. We can't take, because I got to go get Suhana. So this is PSA, Philly Service Announcement, Takeover Tuesday, Takeover Love, Support, Great Social Activism, Resources, and Art. That's what we doing out here. I love